Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday morning 7 a.m. Club. Today's focus is inbox alchemy. We're going to turn email chaos into clarity. So we're going to discuss how neuroscience actually is behind notification anxiety. We're going to craft our 3-layer email fence that really slashes your inbox time by 40%. Breathwork, meditation, a little bit of flow, and we're going to leave equipped with a snack, a supplement, and scheduling tips that keep your mind sharp even when the unread counts climb. So let's get started.
Welcome to the Sunday Morning Club, the place where we battle burnout and brew up bold ideas, preferably over a steamy cup of coffee. I'm Faye Chappell, and I'm your ringleader for these re-energizing Sundays. If you're ready to crack the code on resetting your mindset, rebooting your goals, and laughing a little along the way, well, you're in the right place. So let's dive in.
Welcome again. A few weeks ago, we explored lazy gains. That was the radical productivity hack of doing nothing. And then we dove into less hustle, more flow. We optimize our time by actively working. Today, we're going to forge into inbox alchemy. That's the art of building fences around your attention so you only see the signal and never the noise. So consider this. The average knowledge worker, which is most of us, checks our email and instant chat 77 times a day. That's insane. It costs about 2.1 hours of lost focus, at least according to studies. So inbox is like airport security, right? It should filter, not detain. So we're going to rebuild that filter to give you back some time. So ask yourself or type into the chat if you'd like, and let's see who's drowning and who's treading water. Ask yourself if you're one of those people that actually checks their email box over and over again during the day, feeling like you don't want to miss anything. So if that's you, by the end of today's session, we're going to look at those unread counts and say that it's a distant memory, right? We're going to try to drop the time we spend searching, right? Because here's a good way to do it. Let's take out your phone. I know you all have it right beside you because we very rarely walk away from it. So take out your phone. I want you to open your email app. Go ahead. I'm going to open mine now. And then I want you to glance at the top 5 subject lines. That's it, just the top ones. And then flip your phone face down. No judgment at all, just observe. Now I want you to close your eyes. Close and soften. Take a deep inhale, eyes closed. And as you exhale, notice your shoulders. Scan your jaw, your neck, your chest, your belly. Where do you feel tension? If you sense tightness, that's your body's alarm bell for really information overload. So I want you to think about one word that describes how you felt during that scan. Tension, relief, surprise, right? What did you experience is the physical cost of inbox chaos. Maybe it's a little bit of micro tension or micro anxiety, right? You might have seen an email that said, geez, I should really go read that. I don't have time to be doing what I'm doing right now, but we're not going to go there. We're going to convert that into clarity today, okay? So let's break down the triggers and why we always are looking for email and why chaos really hurts us. Because number one, there's like this variable reward ping, for lack of a better word. Like every notification is a tiny dopamine hit, right? So it's followed by a crash and then it becomes a craving loop. So even though you don't know it, every time you hear a ping, that dopamine raises and you're like, oh, I gotta go. And then when it's nothing, you crash and you continue that loop over and over again. And then there's kind of like a task switch penalty, really. You switching to email costs you about 23 minutes of refocus time. We talked about it the other day, and that's on the average. So what happens is you might be in a flow. You're working, whether you're working on your computer, you're doing chores, you're doing something, and then you switch to an email to check your email, and then what happens is it takes you 23 minutes to refocus properly. So you're losing time by doing it. Then there's this anxiety. It's kind of like a red badge anxiety. Let's call it that. Research has shown that even glancing at unread badges, for example, badges, that flip onto your notification screen, that can raise your heart rate by 12 beats per minute. And blood pressure raises as well. So it's really interesting that when you see it, your heart rate increases and your blood pressure goes up. Not a good thing. So you shouldn't be continually checking all those badges and notifications. If you can, turn your notifications off, right? And then just check it when you can. And then there's like that identity over commitment, really. We equate responsiveness with reliability, right? So we get trapped in this chronic overcommitment, and then what happens? We eventually burn out, right? So just because we feel like we have to respond because we're reliable, we have to do it. Do you have one of those friends or business workers that send you an email and then they call you like literally 5 minutes later and said, "Did you read my email?" They didn't even give you 5 minutes to find it. So that's what we're trying to work around. We don't want to feel like we have to answer everything on that split second, okay? There is a study that was implemented, and it was called Batch Windows, and it was by Deloitte, I believe, that did it. And they told their team to only check their emails twice a day. That's it. Right, we've been going over and over this thing about scheduling your checks to not do it every minute of the day. So when they did it, they cut their work hours literally by 6 hours. That's how much they saved because they focused their work. And revenues still increased by, I think, 9% it was. So really, when you're clear, it breeds productivity, right? So you're focused. Multitasking isn't really a thing that works that well because you're constantly shifting focus. So when people say I'm a good multitasker, I would say you're probably not as effective. My favorite quote on this subject is, "Email is where focus goes to die," unless you build fences, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to become master fence builders, right? We want to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with time and space in order to be as focused as possible. So I want you to grab your journals. I think you all have those, or a piece of paper and a pencil. I did remind you, you do have a drink with you, lemon. This is lemon ginger today. But anyways, grab your journals, and I want you to draw 3 columns across the page, okay? So in the first column, I want you to describe your default emotion state when you open your inbox first thing in the morning. So what is your emotional state? That could be, are you anxious? Are you nervous you missed something? Are you excited to see your emails? What is your default emotional state? And then number 2 is I want you to sketch a timeline of your yesterday. So mark every single email or chat, right? So just a timeline. Do you know enough? Do you remember? Or was it so overwhelming you answered 100 emails and 100 chats? I just want you to think about it. How many did you think you did? Sketch a timeline, and what did that work on? Did you check at 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. at 12? Did you just do it all day long? What did it look like? What did your yesterday look like according to your email checks? That's a really interesting one. And if you were limited to just 2 email windows per day, what valuable activity would you insert in that recovered time, right? Think about it. We go and check our emails, and that time is lost. And sometimes we're clearing out junk, right? We're clearing out junk or reading stuff that really is irrelevant. And then we look up and an hour has gone by. So if you were only limited to 2 email windows a day, so maybe it's 9 and 1, what could you do in between in all that recovered time that you're not spending looking at your emails? I know this changed for me dramatically in the past year. I recognize, I'm very clear about the fact that an email is someone else's agenda. It's not yours. It's someone else's agenda. It's what they want you to read. So I was very focused. So I read my emails first thing in the morning, and I only check my important ones. I don't look at anything else. And then at the end of the day, I check the rest. So I only do it twice a day, unless somebody specifically, I know something's coming in. But other than that, I try really hard not to. And that includes chats, right? You have to be very, very, very careful. So I want you to really think about writing all of this down. Keep your pen moving, right? Keep your pen moving. If you are watching the replay, then I want you to stop here and give yourself 5-10 minutes to really, really think about it. What changed? What in your mind changed when you recognized how many times a day you check your emails? We're not even talking about social media. I'm just talking about emails. And then when you finish that, I want you to really think about what's the one word that captures your insight, right? What all of a sudden you realized, oh, she's right. I actually do spend way too much time doing this. Don't know what it is. Could be anything. It could be, I feel relieved because you understand it. I feel depressed because I've spent so much time wasting my time doing this. I feel excited because I recognize where I can find time now. What's the one word that you can really sink into so that you understand that you will be able to move forward clearer about your emails? Okay, so let's move a little into some manifestation. So I want you to, eyes closed, everyone. Hopefully you finished your journal entries. Eyes closed. I want you to picture yourself standing really before a towering waterfall of emails, for lack of a better word. The roar is deafening. You can see all these messages cascading endlessly in front of you. Remember, your eyes are closed. Visualize this. Now I want you to inhale deeply to channel calm, and exhale and watch that water flow slow, filtering into 3 golden streams. One stream is VIP. It's your critical messages that you have to answer. The other emails are going into kind of a batch stream where it's non-urgent. You can review them sometime today, but it's not urgent. And then I want you to see the third stream, which is an auto-archived. It's behind the scenes. It's one that you don't really need to look at unless you have some time. And as you can look at those emails falling down those streams, you will see that the majority of one are they're going into archive because they're really not that important, right? And then whisper to yourself, I choose the signal, noise obey, right? I choose the signal, noise obeys. What does that mean? It means that you can choose how much noise you want to let into your life from these. And I want you to breathe in that empowered clarity, and I want you to exhale any lingering overwhelm. Right? I want you to open your eyes and understand how you've just filtered some calm by actually seeing those 3 streams of emails get separated into ones that you are more comfortable with. So email fencing, we're going to talk a little bit more about it, but a lot of it is now done for you if you've taken advantage of everything that the new email servers have put your way. But if not, we're going to show you how to do that. But before we get there, let's do a little bit of purging breath work, okay? With like a visual reset. So you can do this any time of the day that you're feeling overwhelmed with all those emails or all those chats. It's called 446 purge. That's the email. That's the breath work we're doing today. So I want you to inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want to exhale forcefully through your pursed lips for 6 counts. So imagine you're blowing all those unread emails and badge notifications. So blow them away. And that's a count of 6. So now that you know what we're doing, we're going to do it together. Ready? Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Purge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, when you're purging, you're forcing that exhale through your lips, and that's blowing all those emails away. So let's do that again. We're going to do 5 of them. I suggest you do this anytime you need to at your desk. That will help you significantly calm your nervous system down. So you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. Purge. Visualize all of those badges, all of those notifications blowing away. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Now I'm going to do a little bit of visual set. This is good for, again, when you've been watching those emails or watching your computer screen all day, or even if you're working in a very finite movement where you're looking at things very closely for a while. So I want you to look at an object 20 feet away for 20 seconds. So right now, look at an object 20 feet away for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And now I want you to close your eyes for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want you to do that again. I want you to repeat it 6 times. So continue along. Go ahead and look at an object. Hold for 20 seconds. And then close your eyes for 10 seconds. I want you to repeat this exercise 6 times. Keep doing it. Keep going. This combo both activates your vagus nerve, which we've been working on, and it soothes your overworked eye muscles. So you will see a massive difference as you continue with this exercise. So again, reinforce the movement, continue looking at an object for 20 feet away for 20 seconds, and then close your eyes for 10 seconds. Anytime during the day, I want you to repeat this 6 times. And then I really want you to think about if your eyes feel better, if you are feeling more relaxed, your vagus nerve is softening. Let me know how you feel. Feel free to DM me or give me a comment. I would love to hear how that is working for you. So, since we've been good at closing our eyes, we're going to close our eyes again. We're going to do a little bit of a guided meditation for this, so we'll be, please settle comfortably. I want you to keep your spine tall, and I want you to close your eyes. This is really important. I know I can't see you, but pretend I can. So close your eyes. I want you to imagine a lush garden, and once overgrown with tangled vines, and each vine represents that unread email, that CC thread, that notification. The air is warm, and you hold golden pruning shears in your hands. I want you to inhale, and I want you to lift that first tangled vine. And as you exhale, I want you to clip it away. I want you to see it fall to the ground, transforming into rich compost. And that compost nourishes the soil for new ideas. I want you to inhale again, and I want you to find the second vine and set it aside. And maybe it reveals a stone path with 3 stepping stones, and they're labeled today, this week, and archive. And notice how the tidy garden becomes really even more tidy with each gentle cut that you do. And a soft breeze carries that scent of jasmine, and butterflies are fluttering, and you can see them land on today's stone. And you watch as they settle, and they quietly anchor clarity into your mind. I want you to walk to a wooden bench, and maybe it's bathed in sunlight, and sit down and feel the bench support you completely. There's a marble fountain at your feet. The water, maybe it drips in a steady, calming, rhythmic motion, like that gentle email chime of the inbox 0, right? But without the addictive pull, right? So just think about how clear and fresh and inviting this situation is to you, because you've cleared all those tangled webs away, you've cleared all those vines, and now you see that you can sit comfortably and you can relax, and you still accomplished everything that you needed to accomplish. So I want you to place your hands on your lap, palms up, and I want you to take 3 full breaths. And as you inhale clarity, you want to fill your chest. And as you exhale clutter, you're going to let it swirl into that soil. So you're going to inhale calm and let it expand through your shoulders, and exhale tension and let your jaw unclench. Inhale focus. Imagine your entire brain lighting up with purpose. Exhale distraction. So I want you to feel every stray thought dissolve. Remember, your eyes are still closed. So sit in this peaceful garden for a few more moments. I'm going to soak in that spacious quiet. And I want you to allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And when you're ready, I want you to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. I want you to roll your shoulders back. Take one final breath in and out. And I want you to carry this garden calm back as you open your eyes. Welcome back. Did you feel that relaxation when you cut those vines, right? You were able to give yourself a clear path, and that's what it's like. You know, for some of us who we get a lot of emails, sometimes it gets so overwhelming, I literally just hit select all and delete. And I figure if it was important, it'll come back to me. So whatever works for you. But let's do a little bit of a desk detox in a seated flow. Okay, so this is a movement that you can do at your desk every single day, or in a chair if you're not sitting at a desk. But the intention is to remain seated. So each movement ends with a brief pause to really absorb that shift. So let's try it. We're going to start with just some neck rolls, some neck figure eights. So I want you to roll your head in a slow infinity symbol, you know, the infinity symbol. And as you inhale, your chin lifts, and as you exhale, it drops. So you're just going to do these 4 loops, inhaling and exhaling. And you can pause whenever you need to, but inhale and exhale. Keep moving the neck, inhaling and exhaling. Really feel that loosening. And then you pause for a few seconds, and I want you to observe how your neck feels Is the tension dissipating? Are you feeling better? Remember, you can do this anytime at your desk. So we're going to move into shoulder blade and push pulls. So as you inhale, I want you to protract your shoulders forward. And as you exhale, I want you to retract, squeezing those blades together, right? Hold each squeeze for 2 counts. So as we inhale, 1, 2, exhale, 1, 2. Inhale forward, 1, 2, exhale, pull those blades together. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, and exhale back. You can do these as many as you like, but I would recommend at least doing 5 of each of these, pausing 5 seconds again, and feeling your upper back. Has it loosened? Have you started to release that tension that you carry all day? And let's now move into wrist extension and flex, tendon glides essentially. So I want you to extend your arms forward, flex your wrists up and down. Okay, up and down. Just releasing the tension of the wrists. Then I want you to make a fist, open your hand, extend. So we do this 4 or 5 times again. So up and down, up and down, and then in and out. Keep going. This should feel really good if you've been on those keys all day. Right? Just you're taking a little bit of time to get some movement and de-stress. And then after you do these, I want you to pause and notice if you have relief in your wrists. I know I've already felt the relief, and we only did it a few times. Really, really important. So let's try a little bit of a yoga movement. We're just using our arms, and we're going to do a seated twist. So we're going to take our arms out. I want you to wrap your right arm under your left and then bring the palms together. Okay? And as we inhale, we exhale and we twist to the right, holding for 4 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. And as we inhale, we twist to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should feel such a difference with the release of tension in your back, in your shoulders, in your arms. So we repeat this just 2 or 3 times. We can unwrap our hands and do the reverse so that we give equal time and do the same thing. So you can really feel a stretch in the shoulder, in the torso, making a massive difference to releasing the tension of sitting all day. Do these as many times as you feel comfortable doing. That you, some of us, will do it for 20 because we love how it feels. So after that, let's do some chair cat-cow with a pause. So we're going to put our hands on our knees. We're going to inhale and arch our spine. And as we exhale, we're going to round our spine. Okay, so inhaling, arch our spine. And exhaling, round our spine. Inhaling, arch. And exhaling. We all know how great cat-cow feels when we're doing it in yoga. And this is basically a seated version of it that we can do at our desk without looking like we're getting up and doing a full yoga set. And again, continuing to do it. And then as you finish, you want to again give yourself a 5-second pause between anything you do to just see how you feel. Did it make a difference? Did it make an impact? If you feel good and you want to do some more of any of them, feel free. And then, of course, finally, we want to do our favorite, which is our shake, right? Our shake, so we shake out your wrists. You can shake out your ankles if you're sitting at a desk, and you can shake your whole body if you want. There's a TikTok thing called Shimmy right now, which is the same thing. We're shaking and shimmying our stress and our anxiety and our and we're trying to relax our system. All of these are about releasing the tension of all that inbox alchemy, of all that inbox confusion and chaos, and we're trying to gain clarity, right? And I want you to shake, 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 like 45 seconds. You can shake your whole body if you want. If you have your own office, get up and shake your whole body. And then I want you to remain completely still for 75 seconds, just completely still. And then I just want you to observe, right? Just observe how you felt after you did all these stress relieving movements. And I want you to really say to yourself, I answer what matters. You can whisper it to yourself after you do all your exercises. I answer what matters. That's a real big key. You have to put yourself as the priority, not everybody else. So, nutrition tip for you during all of this. Remember, we're trying to really gain our energy back, not feel overwhelmed. And a lot of us have a mid-morning crash or mid-afternoon crash, right? So a really great one, because everyone's like, oh, I don't really want anything. I really want a coffee. So here's a suggestion. You can reach for a green tea, and you can add a dark chocolate snack, right? Because the thalidomide in green tea smooths caffeine's edges, and it sharpens your accuracy, right? That green tea, and then the dark chocolate boosts really cerebral blood flow. So it actually helps you with crisper decision making. Remember, I said dark chocolate. I didn't say have chocolate, because milk chocolate isn't the same thing. So a little bit of dark chocolate will help. If you want something different, you can make a mocha, for example. You can whisk a teaspoon of matcha, so that's like green tea, a teaspoon of matcha into half a cup of water, and then you can add 1 square of melted 85% cocoa chocolate, right? Mix it together, and then you can even top it with a frothed oat milk or some type of plant-based milk, and then just sip it slowly throughout the day. You shouldn't think that it's a bad thing to do. You shouldn't be depriving yourself of something that makes you feel more alert and motivated. So I know that green tea, matcha, dark chocolate are all really, really well thought of by nutritionists and by naturopaths. So it's a great thing for you to do. And then finally, I really want you to think about the 3-layer email fence. We actually did it in our guided meditation. So the blueprint, again, for this ongoing clarity is simple. You take your emails, and what you do is you divide them. You give them fences. So you can tag your VIP as red. So that might be your boss, your critical clients, your life partner, your children, and you can set that to vibrate only, for example. So it doesn't like totally ping you, but your phone might just vibrate, or your desktop app for your mail. And then the second one, remember, was the batch, right? And set it to a different color, like amber. And that could be newsletters, internal threads, and you want to filter to a batch folder, and maybe you review it only twice a day. These are the ones that you want to review during the day, but you only want to do it twice. So, maybe 10 and 3. Just set some times that you will give yourself that fence that says, I will check my batch, the ones that I need to check today, 10 and 3. And then you want to have a third one, which is that archive, right? And that might be green. So these are for auto confirmations. They're CCs that are older than 14 days, and they auto archive. So you can set that in your mail system so that they're still searchable, but they're out of sight, right? They might be things that you really don't need. You don't need the CCs. You don't need that are old. You don't need any of that stuff. So the good news on all the mail programs right now is they give you the ability to do it regardless of what you're on. So I know that Mac Mail, Apple changed into categories. So you have promotions, you have receipts, which is at first, when I first got it, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is too much. But I love that they filtered it for me. So I know that there's a promotions tab. I know Gmail does it too. And I don't look at those other tabs till my time that I've said I will. So the only ones that I really look at are the ones I've designated VIP, which I know are important for me to look at. So how you want to filter it, you have to decide that, but don't put everything in VIP, because then that defeats the purpose of all this work we've done today. What I want you to do is really think about that stream. When you can visualize something, it makes it a lot easier. So as you visualize that horrible dump of emails at the top, and then as you see them filter through the streams, you'll be able to understand where you should put which one, okay? Next week, we're going to tackle decision detox, right? We're going to really cut choice fatigue out. So I think this is really, really important that you start doing this first, right? So I really want you to think about clearing those fences and calming your mind. And next week, we'll be doing more. So for today, I'm Faye Chappell. This is Morning 7 a.m. Club. I want you to really think about not having inbox overwhelm for a change. And I want you to go forward. Have a great week. I can't wait to see you again next Sunday.
And that's a wrap for today's Sunday Morning Club session. Feeling inspired? Well, good. Keep riding that wave all week long. And don't forget to join me live every Sunday at 7 a.m. for real-time conversations. So if you miss a session, no worries. Grab the replays, sign up for our next big thing, and get all the juicy details at sunnymornings.club. So thanks for tuning in. Go out there and spark some magic in your life and in your business.